May Jesus and Mary be loved by all dioceses, and preparing books for press and discerning applications from women who are interested in Mary's new order. Processing live videos is cumbersome for me to accomplish, and the MP4 files get quite large, even for short videos. So sometimes I'll do an audio recording like this one, then overlay it with religious art. This makes lighter files for storage and upload, and gives you something more inspirational to look at than my face. I wish I could stay on a production schedule, but I left a regulated life when the Lord called me out of Carmel. Thank you for your patience. This first talk will be in the series for the reflections on the rule of the Mother of God, and we'll be talking about an age limit or not for the applicants to the sisters. What you'll be looking at are some pictures of stained glass windows that I took from a church that is very close to me where I'm living now. God bless you.
That video is entitled It Begins with Sisters, and it has fundamental information which I won't repeat here, so I encourage you to look that up if you missed it. People are already asking me if there is an age limit. So each week I'll be talking about different topics and about the order and La Salette and different things. So this time, just because it's coming up more often, I'm going to address age limit for the sisters that might aspire to the future order of the Mother of God, which will begin canonically as an association somewhere, I hope early next 2024 in Madison. Hope we can get enough ladies that we can rent a house and live together. Melanie said that this order will be open to women who are older in years. She saw a lot of things in vision. I personally am very open to women who could offer talents and skills from years of experience in their careers or from being involved a long history in parish life. There are many, many talented women around, and I am open to having them offer their talents and as a religious in this order. But before you rush to send me an email, please be aware of the sacrifice involved in every religious vocation, not just this congregation. Right now, I think the majority of congregations, at least in America, have a cutoff age of 30. Why do they do that? I can speak from what I witnessed firsthand as a Carmelite. After Vatican II, many Carmels experimented with accepting older vocations. After all, it's become common for modern young women to finish college and enter a working career to pay off their loan, and some feel the need to date young men to make sure they aren't called to married life. And frankly, many are late to even consider that they might have a religious vocation. In past eras, girls and boys were familiar with the sight of religious sisters and brothers from their childhood. They naturally considered very early that they too might be called to give their lives to God. But today, it's rare for young people to encounter joyful, prayerful, living witnesses of religious life wearing a habit. What they see on television or movies is usually distorted and surreal. Moreover, it's common today for young people to fall away from their faith and then find it some years later. We now have a name for the baptized who come back. They are not converts, but reverts. So in Carmel, we raised the age to 40 and began to accept women in their 30s. How did that work out for the cloistered life? It didn't. They would answer all the right questions on their application. They would present great recommendations from priests and employers. During multiple interviews, they seemed to grasp that the life they would encounter in the cloister, they understood it. But once they crossed the threshold, it was very difficult for them. It wasn't the daily schedule, which is pretty tough in Carmel. They were coming from a working world and knew all about self-discipline. It wasn't the poverty. It wasn't the chastity. The problem was always obedience. These women had been running their own lives for many years. They made choices in every aspect of their daily life. They chose their own menus, bought their own food, enjoyed contact with their friends as often as they wished, and more to the point, chose their own friends. Religious life, like your family, members are gifts from God. My mom tells the story that I was very small, maybe I was about 4 years old. I was arguing with my younger sister. Imagine. My mom responded, "But I only had brothers and I prayed for you to have a little sister." And I shouted back, "But Mama, yes, but you didn't let me pick her out." That was true. G.K. Chesterton said that our family members arrive as randomly into our home as some stranger sliding down the chimney. God has set that person into our intimate circle, and we must bow to divine wisdom. One has to be obedient to the Spirit that the companions in one's religious family are chosen by God to upbuild one another, to enrich one another, and to refine each other. But it really wasn't other people who were the main factor for these young women, who were not quite so young because they were in their 30s. It was the fundamental lack of freedom that the older women had difficulty with. You can't decorate your cell according to your tastes. The convent is not your personal space. Your life is not your personal time. And the way the budget is handled, they might not approve of whatever's being purchased or not purchased because they're savvy that way. They know where the poverty is or whatever, but they think, well, they should have gotten a bargain this way, or they might have done this. They see things, a lot of things that younger sisters coming from a family and school would not notice. Our Carmel experimented this way for nearly 20 years, accepting women in their 30s, and the success rate was 0%. Not one persevered all the way to final vows. It was heartbreaking on everyone to see them go after living with us, sometimes several years, not only because we grew very fond of them and would miss them for a long time and talk about them, but when they left the convent, they felt themselves a failure. When women entered under the age of 25, the majority found the transition almost natural because they had been living under the authority of their parents or professors. They had not tasted the freedom of living on their own for many years, so a life of obedience was much easier for them. The majority in this age bracket persevered through all 6 years of formation and joyfully pronounced their solemn vows. What about women who are over 40? We didn't try that in Carmel. What about women who are widows and still enjoy plenty of energy to devote to service in the church? I repeat emphatically, the Order of the Mother of God is open to women of mature age. But please be aware that you will experience a far greater shock than the ladies who entered in their 30s as unmarried working women. Not only will you suddenly forfeit your independence, God is calling you to put your hand to the plow and not look back. You will belong to a new family to serve God together in his vineyard. All novices experience a weaning from their parents and siblings. Letters from home are limited. Visits from family are restricted. Correspondence with non-family is extremely limited. That's just part of the drill for every congregation. And like Abraham, who was asked to sacrifice his beloved son Isaac, parents are called to offer their son or daughter to God. Usually they receive that same grace of vocation as their children, and they feel honored and joyful that their child has been set aside for the Lord's service. But sometimes the child has to almost run away from a clutching family to answer the call of God. I was blessed that my whole family, my parents and siblings, felt joy when they brought me to the convent door at the age of 19 and embraced me for the last time as I went behind the grill. It's a much greater sacrifice when the person entering religious life is a parent or grandparent. They must put their hand to the plow and entrust their grown children and young grandchildren to the Lord. They can receive occasional visits, but they can't go home for Christmas and Thanksgiving, or baptisms, or graduations, or birthdays. The widow, St. Jane de Chantal, encountered angry resistance from her children when she was called to start the visitation order. Her eldest son laid down in the doorway, and Jane walked over his body. He got over it, but it took a while. If you have children and you feel called to religious life, you might need to pray to these great saints for the strength to move forward, for them and for yourself, because you have a very special sacrifice to make that young religious are not called to make. Satan will tempt you and distract you in 1,000 ways, and sometimes he can use beloved family members to make you lose courage. In other videos, I'll be talking about the joys of religious life, because any labor pains you experience in the beginning are forgotten as quickly as when the newborn babe is placed in her mother's arms. Try to imagine living with adults who share your faith, your ideals, your goals, your love for the Holy Trinity and the saints. There's nothing on earth to compare to consecrated life lived in a vibrant community. It's almost heaven on earth. Before I leave this topic of older vocations, though, I should say that an important caveat exists about women who have been married but are not widows. You must be canonically free. If you are separated or divorced, even for many years, but have never proved to the church that the union may have been a lawful civil marriage, but not a lawful sacramental union, then you are not free to remarry, and you're not free to make vows in a congregation as a religious. And therefore, God is not calling you if you cannot present a declaration of annulment. Okay, I want to do short videos addressing just one or two items, so I'll stop here until next week.